Hello YouTube. I know it's been a while since I made my last video. I think it was in July of 2010. I've gotten really busy since then. Had to sign up for the SAT, finish out, start finishing out my senior year, apply to colleges. So I've been really busy, but that's not particularly a good excuse. But now the workload is not quite as heavy, and so I thought, you know, I'm not just gonna hide or anything. There's no reason not to make a video. So I'm back, and hopefully I'll be making videos more frequently than once every 6 months. But I thought I'd review a piece today that's not particularly rare, but it's also a piece that I haven't heard a lot of people talk about either. So this is the Endor Original Trilogy Collection multi-pack. There were two multi-packs that were released like this before in the Saga collection, and there was a Sarlacc one. I think it was called Pit of Carkoon or Skirmish on Carkoon, something like that, and it had some of Jabba's henchmen and Han Solo, I think. And then the other one was a Jedi multi-pack, I want to say. Now, the original trilogy collection multi-packs, there were two of them, one other one like this, and that was a Naboo one with Kadu and some Gungans. But there were only two at the time. They weren't, particularly rare, but I like them nonetheless. So let's take a closer look. There you can see a Rebel Trooper from Endor. That, I think, is a repack of the Saga Rebel Trooper, which was released, I want to say, in like 03 or 02. And then you can look over here, and there's Han Solo. That looks like a repack of the Han Solo and Endor gear from the Power of the Force 2 line. And then as you look more towards the middle, you can see Logray and Wicket. Those look like repacks also from the Power of the Force 2 line. And although I never owned the 2-pack, that Wicket looks exactly like one that I have that came with a Princess Leia. In the Princess Leia collection, it came with Wicket and Princess Leia in the Ewok dress. And then there's a Biker Scout with on a speeder bike. That's not a repack of any particular figure or set that I can remember. But it's pretty well done, and the detail on these figures is fairly good for the time. As you can see, kind of typical with the original trilogy collection. At the time, you have the silver banding, and they tried to make it resemble somewhat of the vintage style carding and packaging from back in the day. And there's a good look at the original trilogy collection logo. The sides have Star Wars on them, except for the top, which has kind of a clear window where you can look down upon the figures. And then let's get to the back. I've always kind of liked the original trilogy collection carding and backing for figures, vehicles, and multi-packs. I thought it was always kind of catchy and cool. And it kind of talks a little bit more about Endor and kind of the scenes that happen in the movie. And it says a few words about each character again. And then you get to see the vehicles. And I really like this the re-release of the Millennium Falcon back then. I thought that was kind of revolutionary because it had the blue lighting in the backs, the electronic blue lighting in the back for the first time instead of that sticker that I had to smack on there when I was a little kid from the Power of the Force 2 line. And then you see the barcode. There were no longer Jedi Master Points, which I think stopped in 02 or 03, maybe even earlier. I remember saving them up and then never sending them in when they had, I think, the mail-aways for all the Jedi Master Points. And I always liked the little Yoda, "Go will to starwars.hasbro.com." So an all-around really cool piece. It's not particularly expensive. I got it as a gift, but I would probably say didn't retail for any more than $10 at the time, and now it probably isn't worth much more, around $10 or $15. And you could probably find it for cheaper on eBay. But that's the original trilogy collection, Endor Ambush. I hope you liked it, and I will be coming out with more Star Wars figure reviews very soon. Thanks for watching.